Hello and welcome to Rotted Reviews, and today I come to you not with a review, but with a question. I'm going to go ahead and get into a little bit of a rant here, but it's not an angry rant like some people might expect. It's more just putting out there a hypothetical because it's been on my mind for a little bit now, and it's a question that like hypothetical. I don't have the answer to it. What I am interested in is discussion about it, so if you want to weigh in on this, please, I really welcome it. I really need some clarification, some clarity here. So please, let's get the discussion rolling on this. And the question that I have is there a place in today's world for adolescent or juvenile horror films? It's something that we used to see, and, The Gate is a good example of that. It's the kind of thing where it's beyond what we would consider to be a kid's film. The nature of it, the scariness of it, and so forth. We're not talking Garfield's Halloween Adventure or Ernest Scared Stupid, as glorious as those films both are. But at the same time, in comparison to some of its more adult brethren, it does feel a bit watered down. And the fact of the matter is, those movies are often rated, PG-13 or, prior to that, PG, and they were made for that kind of audience. They were made for the people that, had kids or had preteens or what have you that wanted to have the pants scared off of them and have the chills and thrills and so forth, while at the same time not being completely bogged down in nightmares and being, having to slip through the R rating thing. And the reason I've been thinking about this is because I've been watching some movies, and I've been having difficulty coming up with a target audience for them because this question's been on my mind. I just saw the reason that this actually sparked in my brain to make this video today is because I saw that 2021 release of Let Us In came out. I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't confirm or anything, but what I have seen is some of the discussions around this basically making that claim that it's a decent film, but it's watered down, so it's not the kind of thing that's going to appeal to the more general adult audiences of horror lovers. And I've been seeing films along those lines, and I've been watching very good ones, but when I make a movie review, even if I don't care for the movie, I really try and find a target audience for something. If it's something that doesn't work for me, but it could work for somebody that's in a group of stoned friends, by all means, that's my recommendation for that, that market, go for it. And I've been struggling to find a demographic, a target audience that would embrace the juvenile or so forth horror that I've been watching. Because, and I don't know if this is a situation reflecting on the movies or a situation reflecting on society or both or what, and I don't want to be the 41-year-old grandpa saying that, kids today and all that sort of thing, but I think that there is a certain gray area going on here where more and more, especially with streaming options and so forth, and the guard at the ticket counter for the movie theaters isn't really present any longer, that preteens, adolescents, and so forth are getting exposed to more and more extreme things, and the notion of pulling back from that and going to the more watered down chills and thrills and so forth, it doesn't appeal. And it makes me wonder if there is still a place for that. Further, a lot of the movies that I've been watching along this ilk have been foreign films. The German release of The Strange House or The Scary House, depending on the translation or distribution, I thought was a remarkably good movie. It had kind of that Hardy Brothers, Nancy Drew-esque mysterious feel to things and so forth. The teenagers and preteens uncovering the mysteries of the town and so on, but still felt very watered down from a more traditional adult horror film. And even if I could find an adolescent target audience, and I could go and I can make a review video telling parents, hey, if your kids are kind of in this gray area, this would be a good watch for them. But at the same time, even if that was the case, would they be willing to sit through something with subtitles? Another great example of that is this movie that I love, and I've been sitting on a review of it because I don't know exactly how to approach it because of that exact same thing. It's this movie, Dorm. Great movie, But yeah, along those same lines, has to do with more chilling, more scary things than your traditional kids movie. It's definitely more challenging, but more watered down. So, like I said, I've just been kind of struggling with this. And then further than that, I've also seen some instances of movies along that line, and then they cross that line, and it's extremely jarring, and I don't exactly know what to think of that. It's not necessarily something that I want movies to stay in their lane or anything, but a good example is My Soul to Keep, a movie that came out, I think, in 2019. By all accounts, I liked it well enough. I thought it had to do with, the whole notion of, the preteens, riding their bikes, getting into mischief, solving mysteries, that kind of thing. And it took a turn and went into some dark territory. And unlike Summer of '84, I'm going to stay spoiler free, don't worry, but it just comes down to tone. And My Soul to Keep stuck with its juvenile feel to it, while at the same time introducing something towards the end that was extremely jarring and extremely challenging. And if I was actually watching that with my kid, I'd be going, fuck me. Nothing, it didn't take a Rob Zombie turn, but it took a turn, and I wasn't expecting it, and it just felt odd. More than anything else, it felt odd. Whereas Summer of '84 actually had it had that whimsical summer, kids doing what they do, and spying on the neighbors and, finding the mysteries and so all of that. But it kind of kept one toe into the adult realm with just the tone and so forth. Like, it was clear that it was trying to be taking some inspiration from Stranger Things and, keeping kind of a fun adolescent feel to it while also being accessible to adults. And then when it took its turn, it didn't feel as odd. It just felt jarring in the best way possible. Like, it wasn't something where it was, I wouldn't, okay, here, how about this? I would not have been watching Summer of '84 with an 11-year-old, nephew of mine. Whereas My Soul to Keep, I would have. So, I mean, the change of tone and the hard left turn that both of those movies took were kind of on different footings. So, yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear a discussion on this. This is, I guess, less of a rant and more of just, talking about things. But when it comes to the Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew-esque, advanced beyond children's horror films and going into adolescent territory, is this something that would still entertain and capture the hearts of our youthful demographic these days in our world of streaming options? And if that's the case, and there were still that market, could that apply to foreign films, and could that interest be taken even so with subtitles and foreign languages? It's a question I've been struggling with. Again, I don't have an answer, but I'd love the discussion. So I wanted to pipe that out there. I got a bunch of stuff going on for the 4th of July weekend, so I don't really have the time to make a proper video. This is kind of my attempt to at least engage with you and put some content out there that I think is, hopefully going to get some things stirring and get some gears turning. So thank you for joining me here. I look forward to seeing you next week when I start doing more reviews properly. I'll talk to you soon.